My name is Ryan Stanley. I'm fortunate enough to be with Ed Abel today. Ed, thanks for being with us.
It's my pleasure. Looking forward to it.
Yeah, talk a little about your coaching niche,
Sure.
where you're located.
Great. I'm located all across the world. That's the beautiful thing about coaching is that if you create the opportunities, they come to you, and those are anywhere in the world I can coach. So it works great.
Awesome.
I'm a small business coach, but I primarily work with business owners who are skillpreneurs. Skillpreneurs are a very unique breed of entrepreneur. They're the ones who take their skill, their expertise, their art, their skill levels and go out into the business world and create a sustainable, profitable, independent, thriving business. I coach them to be able to learn and use the tools that are necessary so that their business is not just one that gives them a paycheck at the end of the week, but one that really creates a sustainable, profitable, independent business that thrives.
Sounds good.
Yeah, it's pretty fun.
Right.
Who wouldn't want to?
Right, exactly.
Who wouldn't want to work with me?
Can't go wrong. What would you say has been the most rewarding part of becoming a coach?
Well, I have many rewards. So what's interesting in life, I really feel, the opportunities to feel that full sense of reward might not come that often. I've had a few opportunities. One being a registered nurse and being a trauma nurse and caring for people really gave me that opportunity. The second time was when I became a coach because I got an opportunity to help people. And for me, that's just something intuitively I like to do,
Sure.
is help people. So when I work with clients to see their business successes, started to really drive my rewards or my inner juices. And so for me, as a business coach and someone who's skilled and knowledgeable about these things and the pieces that make businesses sustainable, to be able to teach them and see the results in my clients have been phenomenal.
Perfect. And so what would you say has actually surprised you the most about the profession of coaching?
Well, it's interesting. I'm the kind of guy that, because I do it, everyone should do it. So because I believed in coaching, I thought everyone would believe in coaching. Right. And it's interesting how many people I still say that I'm a coach to, and they look at me and say, "What's that?"
Right. What's for it?
Right. Exactly. What team? Yeah. So, well, it's funny because Marisol, who is the woman that introduced me to coaching, we met on a volleyball court, and when she said she was a coach, I looked and I said, "Oh, you coach the team?"
Right.
Like, no, what do you do for a living?
Right.
And yes, very much that. So, so that was the biggest surprise, was the amount of training that I needed to understand how to best communicate to the world what it is I do and the results or the benefits that they would get from working with me.
As being somebody that has started so many businesses and I'm sure you might have felt that you're at a point where you're like, oh, I kind of got all this stuff figured out already, and then all of a sudden you go through the coaching program and you're like, oh, there's so much I didn't even know that I didn't know.
Well, and that's very much it. And for me, what was interesting was when I came out of coaching school, I didn't want to build another business. The thing that scared me the most was that you had to be able to publicly speak and go out and talk. Sure. And present yourself. And I was like, oh, I'll go get a job.
Right.
And 7 years later, I have this huge coaching practice that is just a phenomenal experience to have achieved it. Yeah. So, yes, I'm clear that early on I didn't know what I didn't know, but I had to learn what I didn't know, but what I needed.
Which again just adds to the journey.
Yeah.
So what advice would you give to anyone else who's just starting out their own coaching business? Hire
a coach. It wasn't until I actually hired Bruce that the pieces came together for me in the business structure. What's great is at iPEC we now have the Quick Start Business Development Program, right, which is a program that I helped iPEC get together and launch. When I graduated, we didn't have that. So now it's different for coaches to graduate if they go through the Quick Start program, because we give you some of the tools to start your own coaching practice. Sure. And so that to me was, the biggest hump that I needed to get over, was to understand how do you really put this all together. Right. And so I would recommend take the Quick Start program, as well as at some point don't let your ego get in the way. Hire a coach that has done it, that has success. When I look at people, I say, gee, I want to hire someone who's exceeded where I want to get to,
right,
so that I could kind of ride some of their learning experiences.
Sure.
And so for most coaches, I would really enforce, hire a coach, get someone that's done what you're doing, and learn from them.
Awesome. And so why would you recommend iPEC to anyone who's looking to...
That's a hands down question.
Yeah.
In that there isn't a coaching program out there that prepares you the way iPEC does. That's proven. I coach and have coached lots of coaches both within the iPEC network and outside of the iPEC network. And it is just hands down the difference of what iPEC teaches you. When you come out of iPEC, you're prepared to be a coach. When you come out of some of the other schools, you've learned coaching tools, but you might not yet have learned how to integrate them into effectively coaching.
Right.
And iPEC really does a superb job of doing that. And I don't just say that because I'm an iPEC grad.
Sure.
Yeah.
And so who would your dream client be?
Well, I have my dream clients, some of them. So a dream client for me is a company that has somewhere between 10 and 30 employees. And it was started by a skillpreneur, someone who has those skills, and he got the business, or she got the business to a certain point where it is now needing to have the systems evolve, the processes developed, the policies and procedures put into play, all the pieces that make an organization efficient and effective. Are where my ideal expertise are in coaching them and directing them and helping them to see what they need to do. So whether you go through iPEC or you're starting and owning a deli, building a business is not easy.
I was going to say in any business.
In any business. But coaching is easy.
Right.
Because if you're working with your passion and your intuitiveness and the skill sets that you've learned at iPEC, that is easy.
Sure.
So
great.
Yeah.
What would you say has been the biggest challenge that you've overcome in starting your coaching practice? We touched on that a little bit.
Well, no, actually talking on the phone.
Okay.
It's interesting, and I just had lunch with a friendly competitor, another coach who we meet regularly. He's a business coach, and we just chat what's going on and so on and so forth. And I had said to him yesterday, I was on the phone all day. I never left my apartment. I started calls at 10 a.m. and I got off the quick start call at 10 p.m. last night. And he looked at me, he said, "Oh, you told me you didn't like doing that." I said, I really didn't. I didn't like just sitting in my apartment all day on the phone.
Sure.
I do have an office in Long Island City, so I like going to the office. I like getting up and going out. And for me, I like face-to-face coaching. I feel I'm more effective, but I've learned how to coach on the phone.
Yeah, absolutely.
So it's becoming more comfortable for me. But that wasn't a natural. Where many coaches, that's the natural. Like, I'm going to sit on the phone all day. I'm
right.
like, no, I'll be face-to-face all day. So that's been my biggest challenge.
Yeah. If you could share a notable success story, from one of your clients, something that really just sticks out to you. I'm sure there's, several, but...
So I am in a company where when I was brought in, they were telling me a certain situation was going on in their business, and that's really why they brought me in. And instead, when I got in, what was really going on was relationship issues, not business issues. And when I first became a coach, one of my first clients said to me, Ed, you're a great business coach, but it would be nice if sometimes I can open up and talk to you about some of the other things that go on in my business that are on a more emotional level. And when that happened and I was able to address it, it allowed me to realize that I was now seeing both the structured business stuff as well as the human side. And I kind of felt like that allowed me to be a well-rounded coach. Sure. Rather than just a stuffy business coach.
And so the notable story is really that it actually turned you around as a coach as well as the business, because you were able to
totally
to recognize things. If you could leave one thing that you would want to just kind of can be about anything that you would want to tell the world, what would it be?
Live life generously.
Yeah.
Yeah, live life generously. It comes back.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Thank you for your time.
Anytime.